Hello, hello, everybody. This is Real Talk, Real People. And I have a very short one for you guys, but a good friend brought this to my attention. He told me about, well, as you can see on your screen, let's make it a little bigger. Florida schools face criticism over new requirements for African American history curriculum. Now, if some of you will remember, and if you haven't, I'll make sure the video is pops up somewhere towards the end here, or maybe I'll have it pop up right up here. I did a breakdown of the AP African American history breakdown of what that curriculum was supposed to look like, because that was a whole big point of contention, talking about Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, Republican governor, and his anti woke laws, quote unquote, and how the Board of Education was approving or not approving certain pieces of the curriculum because they seem to be woke. Now, with this is a little different because that was AP college courses for high schoolers. This is for middle schoolers. So there's been a precedent set here. Okay, there's been a precedent set. Let's read. Let's read. Reading is always good. It's fundamental. The state of Florida will be rewriting history, in particular Black history, after the State Board of Education passed some new African American history standards. Florida public schools will now be required to teach us that some Black people actually benefited from slavery because it taught them some useful skills. Yeesh. The controversial instruction is found on page 216, page 6 of the 216-page document. I cannot imagine that a single person who wrote those standards and voted for them would have traded places for even one day for that benefit, said FGCU history professor Dr. Jennifer Sugri. Dr. Sugri, sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrect, also takes issue with teaching Black people also committed violence during race massacres. They were defending themselves from being killed as they attempted to exercise their right to vote. I would fight back, she said. The state teachers union also opposes the new standards and called the curriculum a disservice to students. It is a whitewash of African American history, Dr. Sugri stated. Eros Orion is among the many young students who aren't buying the new teaching either. I feel very disrespected, and I feel like my history isn't being honored. I feel like my ancestors and their history would not be honored, Orion responded. Despite an overwhelming amount of opposition to the new Florida standards, the State Board of Education passed it anyway. Student Grayson Glick said the people making the curriculum are predominantly white. Gilzine is one of the 40 people who developed the new standards and is defending them. I'm proud and wholeheartedly support these standards. Thank you for the opportunity, Gilzen said. Supporters say detractors are devaluing the group's research over a few isolated expressions. Community activist Earl Sparrow believes the standards gloss over the barbarism he said occurred. However, Sparrow, a parent, said he plans to control the education his young daughter gets. We will make sure that the education she gets isn't just coming from whitewash Board of Education, Sparrow concluded. The new standards go into effect this school year. So, yes, as always, wow, right? I'm going to put a link for this 216-page document, but you know me, guys. I got you. You know, I got you. Let's actually take a look at it here real quick, and we'll go ahead and scroll. You know, I keep that thing on me. All right, so let's go to page 6, and it's actually at the very bottom here. So analyze events that evolved, and this is SS.68AA.2. Analyze events that involved or affected Africans from the founding of the nation through Reconstruction. We'll just read the whole thing. Explain early congressional actions regarding the institution of slavery, i.e., Northwest Ordinance of 1787, Three Fifths Compromise, Act prohibiting Importation of Slaves of 1808, SS.68AA2.2, explain the effect of cotton industry and expansion of slavery due to Eli Whitney's cotton gin. Benchmark clarification instruction includes the use of a map to show westward expansion. SS.68.AA.2.3, examine the various duties and trades performed by slaves: agricultural work, painting, carpentry, tailoring, domestic service, blacksmith, and transportation. Should probably threw in inventing as well, but they didn't. Benchmark clarification. So here is the major point of discrepancy. This is where all the issue is. Clarification one: instruction includes how slaves develop skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. Wow. I'm going to read again. It's clarification one. Instruction includes how slaves develop skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. Wow. Let's let that sink in. I don't even know. I don't even think there's another way to say that. It's pretty clear. There's no miscommunication. There's no, hey, slaves benefit. Hey, they were enslaved. You guys were enslaved. You guys were brutalized. You guys, you know, unspeakable horrors. But I mean, you picked up a couple skills that maybe in some roundabout way, perhaps a minute portion of you were able to apply these skills for your own personal benefit. That is that is so racist. That is this is one of the most racist things I've come across. And what makes it all racism is bad, but specifically because they are teaching African American history, and they would try to they didn't even try to put it in. They approved something like this. This is this is this is literally textbook racism. And I'm blowed. I'm I want to say I'm perplexed. I want to say I am just, but this is how they do. This is how they do us. They try to control the narrative, and it's wild to me. It should be wild to you. This is Florida. This is Florida. But hey, this will be other places. Whenever a state does stuff like this, it becomes a template for others. Hopefully, other people have a moral, ethical, and backbone and actually want to relay the truth and teach the truth to children. Me growing up, I'm in my 30s. Me growing up, I all I knew was about my history being taught to me. Oh, you was in Africa somewhere. Oh, and then you were captured. Your people were captured, and then y'all were slaves, and y'all were slaves, and y'all didn't get free until 1865. And you know, Lincoln freed y'all, but y'all got free. Then y'all did a few things, and then y'all went silent, and then y'all came roaring back in the 1940s and 50s and 20s. Y'all some damn good musicians too. Yeah, and you made food, and y'all invented stuff too. The peanut, George Washington Carver. Bro, that's all I knew. And then the 1960s happened, and then you're fighting for equal rights. There's so much whitewashed, hidden, lost, and uh, maligned history between that time and before that time. And it would be too long to go through that. This is textbook racism. I implore people in Florida, if you have a child, whether you're black or not black, like, wouldn't you want your children to learn the truth? That's the first thing. The history of African Americans, blacks, Negroes, Nagas, is intertwined with the fabric of just history, American history. It should all be one thing, and there should be consideration and non-whitewashing of history, African American history. Because when you whitewash African American history, you whitewash American history. Again, when you whitewash African American history, you're whitewashing American history. If you have to go this hard to erase people's identity, erase people's history, oppress them, the systems of white supremacy, all these different things, I there's really something wrong going on here. It's wild to me. But that's why you've got to take power. You've got to teach your kids. You got to protect your kids. And you got to tell them and reinforce what's right. Because the people outside of your house will do everything they can to belittle you, make you feel small, and teach you a lie. And they want you to internalize that lie so that they feel better and they can remain in power. I'll also go ahead and attach a Politico article too, which pretty much goes over this. A lot of people want to blame DeSantis, and you can for the anti-woke laws, but you guys see in the thumbnail. This is who you need to be. These are the spineless cowards that didn't have the backbone. These are state board of education members for Florida. Remember these faces. You got Ben Gibson. See, people want to stop at DeSantis. No, no, no. These are the people, the cowards, the racists that approve something like this. See, they don't go full hog. They take bits and pieces, change this here, change this there. And before you know it, black folks are immigrants that came to America for a better life. And they sold themselves into slavery. And slavery wasn't that bad. You let these people tell it. You let these people approve it. Ben Gibson, he's an active member of the Education Board of Education since 2017, twice appointed by the governor. He's the current chair. Remember these faces. Vice Chair Ryan Petty, right here. Serial entrepreneur, technological technology executive with over 25 years of telecom and media experience. I'm sure he knows how to spin a narrative. Monisa Brown, no, everybody gets the smoke. Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations for Walmart Incorporated. Represents Walmart and Sam's Club on the state and local government matters. She's on the Board of Education. Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Esther Bird, native Floridian who led 25-year career in legal field ranges from general practice of complex litigation. Okay. Um, so we got a lawyer, we got a Walmart lobbyist, we've got a two-time, we got a tech person, tech executive. We got Ben Gibson, who's been twice appointed. Gracie P. Christie, let's see what her angle is. Appointed by DeSantis in March 2022. Oh, she's new. She's a radiologist in Miami area for 25 years. Diagnosed, earning a bachelor's degree in Columbia, doctor's of medicine. So you got a doctor, okay? And let's see. Kelly was appointed to State Board of Education by Ron DeSantis after serving on the Board of Trustees of Florida Virtual School. She's a Florida certified teacher from Tampa. From Tampa. Experiencing charter school 2009. College of Warrington. Gates and the three young kids. So Kelly Garcia. I think I remember the votes for Kelly. I think I remember that. Mary Lynn Mager, appointed State Board of Education by Ron DeSantis 2023. So DeSantis is at least three different members were appointed. So you could probably see a split there. But I mean, it was approved by all of them. So I mean, no one's immune to this smoke, this work. extensive business experience in considerable sales and marketing. So we got a salesperson. So that's what you need to know. These are the people approving these standards for your children. Um, what say you guys? What do you guys think? Do you think this is literally textbook racism? Do you think this is a whitewashing of history? Do you think no? I don't think it's a whitewashing. I think they're doing pretty well. Do you think we need to spend a bit more time looking into who are we electing, who's actually writing these curriculums, and seeing if we can hold these people accountable, and seeing how this type of stuff is getting past these review boards, and what constitutes woke and anti woke and not woke. And I guess more importantly, why whitewash history? This has been Real Talk, Real People. Told you it's going to be a quick one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the links. Like I said, all the links will be at the bottom. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.